Hi, my name is Steve Gonzalski, and welcome to one of the classes that I am instructing Fall 2024. One of the first things you probably need to know is how to get into Canvas. The easiest way to remember for me is to start by going into the college's website, saddleback.edu, and then from there going up to the top where it says Logins and choosing Canvas. Then you will have to put in your credentials, the same ones that you used to sign up for the class to start with. And then you may come to this page where you need to select Canvas. And then in the future, you could just bookmark the page once you get into our class. And then once you get this far, what you should see is a list of the classes that you are taking, and then find our class. And I'm just going to pick a class here as an example, but this may or may not be the class that you're taking with me. And then if you experience problems with your login or whatever, I have for you right here the phone number for student technical support, and then the website is right there. Now, to get started in this class, you of course will be watching this video, and it will be followed by another video on the home page of this class. So they'll both be located right up near the top of the home page. I think a very smart thing to do for your college classes is to have a simple page of notes that goes over the key administrative things for this class, like where to go for help, how to name files when we get there. This can just help the class run easier. You'll spend less time looking for things and avoid that panic feeling when it's time to turn something in. Now, when you watch any video, as you're probably well familiar with, there should be an icon near the bottom, something like this, that lets you watch the video at full screen if that's better for you. Anything that's not thoroughly explained in these getting started videos will be covered in more detail under the Welcome and Orientation module. More about that later. And I want you to know that I care about you as a student and your experience in this class, so I'm going to try to make things as straightforward as possible in the instruction. We have a system where you can let me know if you find any errors or any confusion in any of my video instruction and so on. A couple things to be familiar with in Canvas is that this side menu here that's off to the left will sometimes look like it's gone, and that's just because you may have clicked this little hamburger menu up at the top. So just beware of that. Also, sometimes you'll go to videos and it will look like they're missing, so just refresh your browser. Make sure you use Google Chrome. It is the choice browser for Canvas. So let's start by reviewing the home page for getting started. So you just click on the home button up here at the top. Again, this is where you'll see the video, and or I should say the two videos for getting started and a whole bunch of other information about the class. A really great feature in here is this help, this thing that looks like a ring buoy. And let me just switch over to student view so it'll look a little bit more like what you'll see here. So when you click on this, you'll see a whole bunch of information that the college very conveniently put together for you in one place. Now, most of this you could just go to the college's website and use the search bar, but this is very convenient. Let's talk about software. We use Adobe Creative Cloud. There are no substitutions, and you must be using the full version of the software, not the mini versions that are made for tablets and phones. The Creative Cloud, as far as I know, will still not run on a Chromebook. If you believe otherwise, just make sure you do a thorough amount of research before you conclude that that is an option for you. Now, you can get by without buying the software. We do have 4 iMacs in the Learning Resource Center, and I'll show you where you can find more information about that in a minute. But a lot of times students decide to buy the software so that they have the convenience of using it at home. To do that, one of the best places that I found price-wise is at herestore.collegebuys.org, or just simply Google Adobe College Buys. And You can shop around as well, but what you want to look for is make sure you're on College Buys and that the page looks like this. And again, you see the store.collegebuys.org. Um, the professional price for the program is $50 a month, but as a student, you can get the full Adobe Creative Cloud for as little as $50 for 6 months, or it looks like right now $100 for a year. If you do decide to buy the software, that agreement is between you and College Buys or whatever vendor you choose. Make sure that you follow their instructions, because I have no say so in the transaction, nor does the college. And a lot of times the frustrations with that are just caused by a student not reading the details and the information and following it all the way through. And just something to be aware of. At any time, anyone can download the whole entire Adobe Creative Cloud and have this little icon right here on your computer that allows you to, see the different programs and to upload them and update them and so on. But that doesn't mean that they will open for you and that you'll be able to use them. So part one is getting them downloaded on your computer, but part two is actually having the license. And that again is why it's really important for you to follow the instructions that College Buys gives you. And this is something that you want to do right away, because it'll probably take you about 5 days to go through the whole process to get your passcode. There is a 7-day free trial on the programs if you haven't already used it. And again, we have computers at the college. Keep in mind, if you did this last semester for the semester only, you will need to do it again ASAP so that your software doesn't stop working for you while you are working on something. But should that happen to you, you just want to run to the Learning Resource Center. More information about this on the homepage for the class. Keep in mind that computer issues are not a valid excuse for late assignments, and a due date does not mean this is the time to start turning it in. It means that that is the very last time to turn it in and have it not be counted as late. For the entire semester, if you want to email me, please use this little inbox icon over here on the left in Canvas. This will bring you into the email system, and then you just click here to compose a new message. And then you'll click here and you'll select, it'll say something to the effect of instructors, plural, but don't worry about that. I'm the only instructor listed for the class, so you will be able to send me an email. The reason I ask you to send me emails through Canvas and not the regular system is I give students priority during the semester, and I'm in Canvas all the time. I will see your emails and I will get to them quickly. It also organizes them by class, so it's less work for you to tell me what class you're in and things like that. If you do need to ask another person to send me an email, then you will just simply go up to the syllabus for our class, and at the very top, my email is listed. So left menu, syllabus, up near the top, you will find my email address. But again, for you, while the class is in session, only email me by clicking here. And I think you will find that I am pretty quick at getting back to you via email, but it comes at a little bit of an expense. I don't spend a whole lot of time on the emails. I probably won't put a salutation or be overly thoughtful about the words I use. It's nothing personal. I just like to get you your answer. And please kind of return the favor on that. When you send me an email, please keep it on point. All too often I get emails where I have to read through 3-4 paragraphs of excuses or just some kind of other jargon before I get to the actual question. Just remember, I treat all students equally, meaning I follow what's exactly on the syllabus. So the only excuse is a proper doctor excuse, and that's the only one that you need to report to me. Otherwise, I treat you like an adult, and if you're late on something, you're just late on something. You follow the procedures and get it turned in. But if you have a question, you, of course, reach out to me and just thoughtfully and organized way ask me the question. And Speaking of that, sometimes when there are technical issues, it is very difficult to ask questions. So I made a little video here that just gives you some suggestions for emailing technical questions to me. The other buttons that we use over here will be announcements, and you will see the announcements as they're released, not all of these like I'm seeing in my view right now. And then the other thing that we use is modules, and you just want to make sure that when you use the modules, you start at the very top, do this one, then this item, then this item, then this item, and that will unlock certain things. So if you just try to jump in here and you can't get at it, just think, did I start up at the top and go through in order? Pay very close attention to due dates for multiple reasons as you're working in the modules, but you should not be turning in anything more than 1 week before the due date. And a lot of times in the modules, you might be working in week 3, and if you click a certain link, it'll bring you into, say, week 5, for example, when another thing related to that assignment is due, just so you can read up on it. But as long as you always look at the due date before you enter or turn something in, you'll be fine. And then, of course, we use the syllabus link to view the syllabus, and then the grades for you to view your personal grades in the class. Do not submit work either in person or online unless it's complete and ready to be graded. So if, for example, you were required to submit 2 items for that graded project or assignment, do not submit one before the deadline with a promise to submit the other. I know other instructors are okay with that, but once I get your work and the deadline is passed, I grade it. So if you still aren't finished, just wait till you're finished and submit it. I go over the late penalties and a lot of detail in the upcoming welcome orientation module. So you can't submit more of a project after it's been graded or correct mistakes after it's been graded. Occasionally, there are exceptions to this, but that would be made very clear in the submission instructions. All right, after this video, you'll go on and you'll watch the next Getting Started video, which will be very specific to your class. And then you will move on to the welcome modules. And I just want to let you know that what used to take about 3 hours to go over in person has been condensed into about 90 minutes in 6 videos known as the welcome videos. If your class meets in person, once class is established with times, I'll write the times of what's going on on the board, and it should be really clear what's going on. There is no need for you to come up and ask me if you can go to the bathroom. Just make sure that you are back by the time we're going to go over or do anything else in class. Raising your hand to get my attention in class is not always the best way. Of course, if I'm addressing you and looking at you, then it is. But if we're working in class, don't just sit there with your hand up, because chances are I probably am partially blocked by your computer and my computer. So the best way is if you're close enough to get my attention, just by saying, "Hey, Steve," that will work, or just come up and get me at the desk. Bring earbuds and headphones with you to every class. Please don't forget this, because there are often times when you can get a head start on the next thing by watching videos, or find an answer to a question that you have by watching videos if maybe I'm working with another student. And then, very important also for in-person classes, is bring your log-in credentials with you the first day, because you will need to log into the classroom computer.